Today in this video, we're going to be looking at what could possibly be the biggest cocktail of 2025 here in the UK. That is the Paloma. It's a tequila-based cocktail. Apparently the most popular tequila-based cocktail in Mexico. Here in the UK, when we think tequila, we automatically think the margarita. But today is all about the Paloma. So coming up, I'm going to show you how to make the Paloma. I'm going to tell you why it could possibly be the biggest cocktail of 2025 here in the UK. But I'm also going to give you 3 fun, tried and tested riffs of how to take your Paloma in a different direction to make it a little bit more fun. Now, this video is coming off the back of a press release from Bacardi back in the tail end of 2024, about November time 2024. Now, Bacardi are the brand owners of APRON tequila. And what they announced was that in 2025, they were going to be targeting the Aperol Spritz serve with Patron tequila and the Paloma. Now, here in the UK, as soon as it gets hot, as soon as the sun comes out to play, it is all about the Aperol Spritz. The Aperol Spritz is one of the most popular cocktails for here in the UK. So Bacardi have eyed a potential possibility to grab some of those sales with a brand new, exciting serve. Now, Paloma to a lot of people won't be that new, but to the vast majority of people, it will be. Now, we all know Bacardi are one of the biggest brands in the world, as in the rum, but their portfolio, they are a huge, huge company. They have a lot of money. So if they are going after the Aperol Spritz with their Paloma serve, my advice to bars, to brands, to bartenders is keep an eye out and jump on the back of it, because if they're going to do it, if they go loud and proud with a Paloma serve, that is just going to be easy money for you guys, whether you serve Patron or not. Now, before I show you my 3 variations on the Paloma, it's probably wise that I show you how to make a traditional Paloma so you know what's coming. Now, this is really, really, really easy. Essentially 3 ingredients, but I'll quickly show you my way, and then we'll just go off into how you could possibly make it and how other bars would probably make it as well. So first up, your tequila. Now, it depends which way Bacardi go with their promotion. They might go for a Reposado tequila, the Patron. They might go for the Blanco Patron. For me, I kind of like the Reposado notes in a Paloma, but you can do either. You could even do an Añejo, a slightly more aged tequila. It is up to you at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong here. It's whatever your taste profile lends itself to. Okay, so I go for the Reposado. I'm going for a 50ml double bubble, and this glass here is about 14 ounces. So slightly bigger than sort of like a typical sort of 12-ounce highball. It's just slightly bigger, but you can you'll see what I mean by the mixer in a minute. Now, lime juice. I'm just going to measure this just to show you, but it's basically 10ml. If you're going to do like proper lime, like a wedge of lime, maybe cut 2 wedges of lime, just squeezed in. And because I use a grapefruit soda here from Franklin's & Sons, flipping love this stuff. You know, long-term viewers will know I bang on about Franklin's & Sons. I think they're superb. This is my favourite grapefruit soda. This has obviously got a little bit of sweetness in it, so you don't need other ingredients that we'll talk about in a second, but it's that simple. Tequila, lime, grapefruit soda. Now you can see there, look, if we get that in close on, I've used just over half a bottle there. So we're talking about 125ml in a 14-ounce glass, okay? If you had like a 12-ounce glass, you'd probably get away with half a bottle, so 100ml of grapefruit. So just going to garnish it up, just give it a quick stir, just to combine those ingredients. Going to garnish it up with a dried grapefruit from Frona. And I think that's all you really need to do. However, just for the photo, for the thumbnail, and I do kind of love it, I've just got a lovely sprig of mint in there. But, you know, I don't think that's necessary for a Paloma. And that is lovely. Definitely not sweet at all. No, it's not a sweet soda. It's not your full-fat Coke sort of style, your tropical lilts and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but not much. That tequila really does come through. But you've got that lovely little bite from the lime there. Really lovely, tasty, easygoing, like highball drink. It is, you know, I can understand why Bacardi want to target the Aperol Spritz with this, because, you know, people are just going to love it once they try it. Now, the only slight little hunch I've got with this is if that Bacardi are going to target the Aperol Spritz serve, they're possibly going to go for a wine glass serve. Now, I don't know. I've not seen any. This is 3 or 4 months before this even goes in Bacardi, before they even start marketing this. But don't be surprised. Make it again if you're being proper. But don't be surprised if you see Palomas served up like that with a bit more ice and then sort of garnished with your grapefruit and your mint sprig. I think that would be a great way to target the Aperol Spritz serve with this. And of course, you could even go one step further, and that's add a salt rim to this, to the glass, to your highball, whatever you got. I think that's going to be very easy to do. And again, it's going to make your drink, your glass, stand out and look more appealing. Now, I mentioned just 3 ingredients in this serve. However, bars might go down a different route as well, because instead of grapefruit soda, they might opt to do their own grapefruit soda, which would be grapefruit juice. Now, obviously that's got a little bit of sweetness into it. So what bars might do is they might use grapefruit juice, freshly squeezed grapefruit juice, a touch of agave nectar, obviously keep your lime in there. They might even add, this is going to come out in a second, but they might even add a touch of saline, a few drops of saline solution, salt effectively. We'll talk about that in a second. And then they'll top it up with plain soda water. So you could turn this into a 5 ingredient highball. I just think with the amount of grapefruit sodas that are out there on the market at the moment that taste really, really good. Look, let's be honest, Fever Tree have got a pretty damn good grapefruit soda as well. I just prefer that one. There's even Ting. You know, Ting is really easy to get here in the UK as well. There are various different ways. I just think this is going to be the easiest fat-free way to make it. Now, I started to do this pre-Christmas, and I'll carry on the trend, you know, just so you get a rough ballpark of that. I have costed this out. You know, really easy highball, really easy. The Reposado tequila that I've used there from Caswell, we're roughly talking about £1.75-ish, give or take, for a 50ml double bubble. And as I say, this is at the top end of trade prices, okay? So if you're at home, slightly more expensive, but there again, you probably might use a cheaper brand of tequila. So, you know, swings and roundabouts there. I round up 15p for a lime or the lime juice. 80p, that bottle might cost you. You probably get it a damn sight cheaper. So, you know, you can call out a whole bottle if you wanted to. But, you know, if you're in a bar situation, you probably get 2 serves out of that. And then, as I've said, 15, I always kind of round up. Ice, you garnish and all that sort of stuff, another 15p. Roughly comes in at about £2.85. But I dare say you're going to be doing that a lot cheaper. Now, before I dive into my Paloma variations, I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Have you ever had a Paloma? How do you make the Paloma? What's your go-to brand of tequila? What's your go-to brand of grapefruit soda? Do you prefer grapefruit juice and agave nectar and a little plain soda water? What are your preferences? You know, and where's the best place? For those of you that have ever been to Mexico, like, where's the best place for a Paloma there? Do you actually go mezcal in your Palomas? I want to hear from you guys. Let us know. So, variation time. As always, I've got 3 here. And we're going to go for a smoked watermelon Paloma, a spiced hibiscus Paloma, and then a honeyed pineapple Paloma. But as always, I'm going to keep the camera rolling because I have another 5 variations exclusively for my membership community as well. So my members are going to get 8, but it might even be a bonus 9th because one of those is going to be a little split test. So variation number 1, we're going for this smoked watermelon Paloma. And as I've got the salt out here, I'm just going to do like a little salt rim on this. I never do the whole glass because I put myself in a bar situation and a lot of people don't like to drink through salt. So I kind of just decorate the front of the glass like that. Now this stuff here, let's get that in, perfect. This stuff here is a combination of, I've actually got, and I'm always Cornish, I'm never mulled in here in the UK. So we've got smoked Cornish sea salt flakes in there, so it's smoked salt in there, and then I've got Frona grapefruit rimming powder on there. So that's how I created that salt rim. Now, as I've got a little bit of puree going on in this one, I'm going to shake this down. But a lot of Palomas are just about putting them straight in the glass and kind of making there. But as I say, we're going to shake this down. So tequila of choice. Again, I think for the smokier notes of this cocktail, I definitely want a Reposado cocktail here. Again, or an Añejo. So basically, because it's been in contact with wood for a bit longer, you're going to kind of get those oaky notes, those sort of vanilla or vanillins that come out from the barrels, so vanilla notes. Don't think of that as flavoured. It's just kind of a bit more rounded than what a Blanco tequila was. But you know, long-term viewers will know that I love unaged spirits. So we're going for 50ml double bubble of the Reposado tequila, 10ml of lime juice. Now I mentioned this a minute ago, I've actually got 2 bottles of saline solution here. I do talk about saline solution a little bit, but for those of you that are new, this is essentially a 20% saline solution. So always do it in grams. So you want 20 grams of salt to 80 grams of water. And I traditionally use, you know, I've got them here. I traditionally use Cornish sea salt, and this is the smoked one. I've got the other normal sea salt one there. So I just make up salt solutions, 20% salt solution, as I say. So 20 grams of salt to 80 grams of water. It'll keep in your fridge for ages. And as I say, this is a smoked saline solution, so smoky salt. If you do a 20% saline solution, you just need 5 drops, okay? I mean, always adjust the taste, but I very rarely will ever encounter anyone that wants more than that. And don't be put off by saline, by salt in your cocktails. It's not enough there to like completely make the drink salty, but the saline will elevate flavors. And it is, honestly, I say it time and time again, 5 drops of saline solution in a pina colada is just next level. Then I want to add some sort of spicy heat to this cocktail. This will be adjust to taste. I don't want in my face spice. I just want a lovely little bit of spice. So these are the Bitterman's Hellfire Habanero Shrub bitters. I've just done about 8 there, but fluctuate between 5 and 15 drops. Kind of gauge on your own palate, but these things are brilliant for this. And the other alternative to that would be something like Ancho Reyes chili liqueur. I tend not to use that. I don't actually have a bottle here, to be honest. I might invest in a bottle, but I don't actually use it because I do prefer adding heat from bitters. Now, and bitters doesn't, like, you don't have to then balance out from a liqueur with an extra bit of sweetness. Bitters just add those flavors. And then for my watermelon notes, I've just got this Real sort of watermelon puree syrup here, globally available. This is, and I don't want much. I'm just going for a little sort of 10ml dash. Strain that out into your ice-filled highball glass that I've done with a salt rim. Again, this is roughly about 12 to 13 ounces. And then just top up with grapefruit soda. Didn't use much out of that second bottle, probably about 15ml there. So close to 100ml. If I did 125ml in the first one, you know, probably close to 100ml. So then just garnish with a little sort of dried grapefruit there from Frona. Now, that is not the first time I've made that. That is absolutely right on my wavelength. The tequila heat, first and foremost. Ever so subtle watermelon in there. It's not a sweet drink at all. You've got that lovely sort of watermelon notes that come out there. The smoked saline, you just get a little bit on the tip of your tongue. It just kind of elevates the grapefruit notes and that watermelon notes. But it's the little feisty heat of the chili, the habanero shrub bitters that just come through at the end. So it gives you a little bit of spice. Honestly, that could become one of my favorite drinks of 2025. Already, early doors. I know this is so early in 2025. I think I first made this in about November time. And it's just stuck with me. It's absolutely incredible, this. And I know I need to make it my mission in 2025 to come up with another word for incredible, but the fact is that is incredible. Amazing, fantastic. Let's go with fantastic. Let's try and get that in for that. So, riff number 2, spiced hibiscus Paloma. I've got some syrup going in there just for pure ease. I'm going to shake it again, but you could make this in the highball. Tequila of choice this time. Because I want the sort of hibiscus to do the work here, I kind of, and you know, I just prefer hibiscus with Blanco tequila. That's just me. I kind of prefer hibiscus with Blanco white rum. I don't really do aged rum and hibiscus as well. So it's just my own flavour profile, okay, my palate. So going for a 50ml of the Cascabel Blanco tequila, 10 ml of lime juice. Now, when I was in Rum Journey, I know many people make their own spiced hibiscus syrup. I, just purely because I like to show bars and people at home of what you can buy. Now, I'm going to use 2 ingredients to sort of replicate that. Okay, so firstly, we've got the hibiscus syrup from Monin, which I flipping love. This is, we're going for 15 ml, 1.5. Love hibiscus. Probably for me, the most underrated flavour when it comes to cocktails, especially in rum world, especially in tiki world. I flipping love this. And then there's a couple of ways you could go to sort of mimic what you would do for a spiced hibiscus syrup in there. You could have always go like Monin's winter spice syrup as well. For a lot of those in the UK will kind of know that, but for me that's adding too much sweetness in this. So I've either got liqueur, which is, you know, the pimento drown from Bitter Truth here, or we have actually got Dale DeGroff's pimento, what are they called, allspice, pimento or aromatic bitters there. It's either or. I've used this recipe, I kind of balance this recipe for a liqueur, but if you've got enough sweetness in there already, the pimento bitters, let's give you a little close up of both of those, you know, could do that. Really luscious sort of pimento, allspice notes coming through in those. But I'm going for this just because this has got a little bit of extra sweetness in it. There we go, if we get it open. You can tell the sugar in that. And then we're just going for 10 ml. Just, well, not even that. It's 7.5 ml, 7.5 ml. And going to strain that out into another ice-filled highball and then top up with your grapefruit soda. Then again, just because I love mint sprigs, we've got a nice mint sprig, and let's get the grapefruit out again. Nice wedge of grapefruit there from Frona. Again, that is fantastic. It hasn't got the complexity of that one because you've got the sort of chili that's coming through there. You've got the saline, the smoked sort of saline that sort of brings that through. And you've got a reposado tequila in there, whereas you've just got a Blanco tequila here. But the big notes you get, hibiscus first and foremost, but that pimento comes up there. You don't mistake that for being a tequila drink, but it's just a very subtle nuance to the Paloma. All right, hibiscus, as I say, allspice, pimento, sort of those cinnamon, those nutmeg sort of notes that comes through there. Cracking drink. Now the third Paloma variation we're going for is a honeyed pineapple Paloma. Don't forget, my membership community are going to get another 5 of these, and we're going to get to play with other tequilas up here. We've got the Cascabel coconut coming out in a minute as well. For those guys, it's some fun variations, but this is the third and final one here. So honeyed pineapple. First off, I want the Reposado tequila here, and I want a 50, actually we're going down 40 ml, and then Cascabel's flipping amazing honey tequila is in liqueur. It's 34% ABV, so it's still quite punchy, but it's got this lovely sort of unctuous honey notes to it. Not overly syrupy sweet, just very well balanced and all. It's a cracking honey tequila here. 10 ml. Then I'm not going to bother measuring this, but this is just Real pineapple puree, about 10 to 15 ml of that. I'm just going to up the lime juice slightly because we've got a little bit of extra puree in there, plus we've got a sweeter tequila, so 15 ml of lime juice. And then I do want to round off those flavors, so we're back to the smoked saline solution here, and then just 5 drops. Strain that into another ice-filled highball glass. And the flavor inspiration of this, you know, one of my favorite drinks, it is now Fanta pineapple and grapefruit here in the UK, but it used to be Lilt. Everyone knows Lilt, pineapple and grapefruit. So we've got those pineapple notes, bit of grapefruit soda, probably need another bottle. Then to garnish this, I might get some more mint out for photo, but just a pineapple there from Frona. Stunning again. The secret to these is to not make them too sweet. Even though I've got purees in there, you've kind of balanced them out with a bit more lime juice, a little bit of saline solution. Oh, wow. That is rivaling that watermelon one. That is really rivaling that. That's a stunner. So comments below, what do you think of those 3? Which one of those would you like to try? I'm going to keep the camera rolling now. Let's film some 5 more fun ones for my membership community. But for those of you not in my membership community, but you want another sort of cocktail where I put fun variations on it, dive into that video right there.